Good morning, thank you for joining me. Welcome to June Book Club. To those who have been here before, to one of my book club videos, welcome back, and to anybody who's new, welcome. Just to give you a quick summary of what's going on here, I run a monthly book club. We have a Facebook group. We take it in turns to choose books every month. It's all based within a Facebook group, which is linked in the description box below, so do come and join us in there if you're into reading and you would like to join in with our monthly reads. At the end of the month, I make a video answering a set of questions about the book, and I also post the questions in the Facebook group, so everybody else who's read it can discuss it in there as well. And we've been going for, getting on for, I think we started in October last year. So without further ado, let's get into this month's read, which was Lies by T.M. Logan. It was selected by Catherine, so thank you for selecting that, Catherine. I didn't realise initially, until I started reading the book, that it was written by the same author as The Holiday, which was our very first book club read last October. The first one, the inaugural book club read, if you like. So that was quite interesting. I hadn't read anything else by T.M. Logan, and so to come back to hit, I think it's a man, I think I'm right in saying that, as an author, was quite interesting. First question number one is, did you like the book? Why or why not? And I did like the book. After having read a few quite slow and disappointing books that hadn't really held my interest, I started this and I was immediately drawn into it. I felt like the first couple of chapters were very good at drawing me in and holding my interest, which was great. It reminded me very much of, I don't know if you've read anything by Simon Kernick, who writes absolute edge of your seat thrillers, very fast paced, and it reminded me very much of that style of writing, this book. It was sort of relentless in its pace, which I say that in a good way, you know. I did enjoy that, so yeah, I enjoyed it very much. I gave it 4 stars out of 5. Question number 2 was, what did you think of the characters? Any you really liked or disliked? Sorry, I just got to pick up my coffee again. I liked the characters. I felt like this book worked better as it was written than The Holiday, because it was written from Joe's perspective as a man, and the author being a man. I think The Holiday was written by with a female sort of lead character from her perspective, from memory, and I think that didn't work quite so well. So I did like the characters. I liked Joe. I felt quite sorry for Joe. Just more and more stuff being heaped on top of him. I think he would have been a basket case by the end of it, really. I didn't particularly like Mel, but I think that was more to do with the fact that she'd been unfaithful to Joe. So yeah, I didn't particularly like her as a character, but not particularly because of her characteristics, more because of her actions, if that makes sense. Number 3 is, did you find the plot believable? Apologies if it looks like I'm looking down over here. I've got my computer there with my laptop with the questions, so I'm reading them off that. So if I'm just sort of staring in the wrong direction, that's why, so apologies for that. Overall, I thought it was a good plot, but I didn't find all of it believable. There were some things that I literally went, surely not. However, it was a good enough story that I was able to suspend disbelief. It didn't really, sometimes with a plot where you find things unbelievable, it spoils your enjoyment of the story, but I didn't find that this was the case with this book. A couple of things that I did find unbelievable were Joe going to the country park to meet Ben. He already knew he was violent from his encounter with him in the car park, and he already knew he had a gun because Ben had told him, or Ben's wife, whose name escapes me, had told him that he'd taken this gun from the house. So just why you would go to a place that you knew there were going to be no people to meet this violent person with a gun who wasn't pleased with you, just sort of beggars belief, really. But obviously they needed to move the story on, and that was sort of integral to the plot. So I do understand why they put it in, but yeah, I didn't find that particularly believable. And the other thing that I did find pretty unbelievable was Joe seeming to get over Mel's affair so quickly. you know, they were sleeping in the same bed again within 2 days. And it just seemed bizarre to me. I mean, I know there was a lot happening, but I don't think you'd even want to speak to the person or look at the person after that level of betrayal and or lying. I found it quite bizarre that he wanted anything to do with her at all. So yeah, there was that. But yeah, as I said, the disbelief things didn't really take away from my enjoyment in the story, so that was good. Question number 4 is, did you figure out who was setting Joe up before the big reveal, and did you think it was a good twist? No, I didn't figure it out at all. Absolutely no idea. It was a complete surprise to me. Did I think it was a good twist? I felt like there had to be a twist at the end, because after all that fast-paced plotting and all sorts of different things being revealed, I didn't think it seemed far-fetched to me that because of their affair the 2 women would have put this plot into, you know, it seemed a little bit far-fetched. But again, because I'd enjoyed the story and it was fast-paced and kept my interest, I didn't mind too much that the big reveal or the twist was you know, a little bit out there. I was kind of expecting that, to be honest. Question number 5 is, if you read The Holiday by the same author, our first monthly book club read, how did you think this compared? I enjoyed this one more than The Holiday. I did enjoy The Holiday. I really liked the setting in The Holiday. It was set in a beautiful house in the sort of chateau type thing in the south of France, which was a lovely setting, and the author described it really well. But I liked this one better. I felt that this held my interest more. I felt this one easier to absorb in terms of it had a smaller cast of characters. There was a lot of people to keep track of in The Holiday, which was fine, but I read it on holiday as well, so I found it easier. I think if I'd been reading it at home when I don't have time to read as much, I think I might have struggled with the amount of characters in that one. But yeah, this one had fewer characters. I found it quicker and easier to get into. I enjoyed the plot better. So overall, this one just pipped The Holiday at the post. But both were good. But I think of the 2, if I was recommending somebody to read a book by T.M. Logan, it would be this one that I'd recommend above The Holiday. So I should be interested to hear what other people who have read this book and also read The Holiday, how they compared it. I'd be very interested in that, so looking forward to a bit of discussion around that in the Facebook group. Final question was sort of more of an ethical dilemma than one about the book. It says, I was quite interested in the app that they used to track, which was called sysadmin track in the book. It says, if you have children, would you install an app like that on their phone? And for me, I wouldn't, but probably not for the right reasons. Probably not at all for the right reasons. For me, the main reason I wouldn't do it, because of course my son's 20, so maybe the answer would have been different when he was younger, but it would play into my worries. I'm a big worrier. I'm trying to get on top of the amount of worrying I do about Will and where he is and if he's okay, which I do a lot. And the way I do that is to cut myself off. For example, from Facebook, I can see if his active light is on or when he was last active, and I feel like that really plays into my worry. Oh, he hasn't been active for 6 hours, I hope he's all right. And then my mind starts spiraling. So if I don't have that, if I don't allow myself to look at that, then I haven't got the niggling worries there. And I think having an app like this would make me even more worried than I am in a normal state of affairs. And you've got to trust your kids as well, haven't you? It's a trust thing, building up the trust rather than tracking their every move. So yeah, that would be my answer to that. So that was Lies. Thank you to Catherine for selecting that. I really enjoyed it. It was a good one. Next month we are reading 2 seconds. So we voted in the group for a choice between 3 groups. Actually, it wasn't Catherine who selected last month's book. I apologise profusely. It was Catherine who has selected this month's book. So I'm so sorry, Who was it who selected last month's book? Let's just have a look. It was Alison who selected this month's book. I do apologise, Alison, I'm sorry. Anyway, Catherine has selected our book for July. Catherine selected 3 books for us to choose from, and by a huge amount, it's been quite close the last few months, the vote, but by a huge amount, the winner for this month, July's book is going to be The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I think I'm pronouncing Michaelides. I don't know, The Silent Patient. Anyway, I will link it in the description box below. Now, I have actually already read this book. I enjoyed it very much. I thought it was good. I gave it 4 stars when I read it. And I only read it last year, so I won't be rereading along with you guys. I will set the questions as normal, but I won't do this video next month. Well, I'll probably still do a bookish video. I'll probably do some book reviews or book recommendations for things I've read recently, something like that. But I won't be reading along with you because I did read it quite recently. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope anybody who read Lies enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing what you all thought of it in the Facebook group. And yes, happy reading, everybody. See you next month. Bye bye.